Okay, good morning, good evening, wherever you're tuning in from. The name is Kojo, Blockchain Kojo, and I'd like to thank you all for coming on to this presentation. Today, we have a very rare opportunity in this space to be a part of a project that I believe no one in the space has heard of, but is very, very vital to our community, and in fact, to the entire crypto community that people know about this opportunity, right? We're going to look at a global crypto exchange that has been around since 2013. And they have done something so unique, so new, that started just in November of last year, right? They have created a very, very, I would say, exciting and very profitable opportunity. When was the last time you heard that you can earn up to 25x on your crypto in 1 year? You see, there is a big insider secret in crypto that I got to learn from some of the experts with my time being in the industry, and that is that asset accumulation always beats price appreciation. I'm going to repeat that again. Asset accumulation always beats price appreciation. And what do I mean by that, right? There's been, many times in crypto, we have had different kind of coins. We have held on to assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, right? And what has happened is because we didn't have a way to continuously accumulate these assets, right? Whenever we have needed to liquidate these funds, we liquidated. And today, some of us don't even hold some of these cryptos that we started to hold maybe a few years back, right? You look at the case of Bitcoin. A lot of people had Bitcoin back in the day, when it was worth a couple of hundreds of dollars, sold it, when it was a few thousands or tens of thousands. And today, Bitcoin's sitting at 60, $70,000. You're like, wow, I wish I never sold the Bitcoin that I had in the beginning. If there was a way that your Bitcoin could just grow and multiply on its own, compounding, right? We wouldn't be here today. So, folks, I want you to take this opportunity very, very seriously. And let's give a chance for our speaker to come give us a little background about himself and how this opportunity came about. So, without any delay, I want to pass it over to you, Mr. Charles Yoon. The mic is yours. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your introduction me to your leaders here. My name is Charles Yoon, living in Korea. I'm very glad to meet you here at Mr. Blockchain Kojo's Zoom meeting focused on new project named JBank. Actually, I myself has not been in this industry. Basically, my majority is international trade. I have been working for international trade for almost 30 years, but all of a sudden, around 9 years ago, I was put my first step in this industry because one of my friend interested a kind of crypto project to me about 9 years ago. Since then, uh, I met I, I I met a lot of project named the so-called blockchain project, but I also have noticed uh, a lot of these products went along in the end, uh, having a lot of uh, giving a lot of damages to the normal peoples. So basically, I didn't like that much of this kind of MLM coin project. But all of a sudden, I visited the Singapore about 4 months ago. Uh, One of my friends introduced me, one person to me, and he visited the hotel where I was staying and introduced the JBank project. when I heard this project for the first time, I was very tired. It was almost 11 p.m. in the night. I just arrived at Singapore hotel. So I heard the project from the person, but did not show them much interest because I was too tired at that time. So I asked him, could you come once again tomorrow morning and give me full information, full introduction of this project one more time? So he came to me, he came to meet me at the hotel lobby next day with a clear mind and a clear memory. I could hear what this project is exactly. When I finished hear this project from him, I thought it is quite a stable project. One of the fewest stable project which I have ever met for the last 9 years. So I would like to study more, checking more. So even though my original travel schedule was 2 nights, 3 days, I would like to check more. Who is the owner of this project? Also, why this project was launched, by whom? So checking all these, I asked the sponsor, what's called the sponsor? Where is the company? Where is the CEO of this project? So he explained all these kind of things to me. So he explained the CEO is staying in Four Seasons Hotel located in the center of Kuala Lumpur. So all of a sudden I made the decision to visit Kuala Lumpur, not returning to Korea. So I met the CEO and his working staff and heard about the launching story of JBank project. So I have also found that there is a parent company that accelerated also launched this project named Ju Exchange. So I also studied about the Ju Exchange. It was already 13 years old exchange with a very success history before, but it was the ownership of this exchange changed in about 2 years ago, January 2024, and they had 1 year time for rebranding the exchange, also upgrading all their trading system and the ecosystem. And I also found they have their own public chain and their own Web3 wallet. So after I checked all this kind of things, also I checked the characters of the CEO and the working staff of JBank. I made the decision to introduce this project to Korea. In the beginning, I didn't have any mind to represent this project for Korean market, but wanted just to help some leaders and some investors who has failed with many different kind of scam project, because I have found there is a kind of opportunity for them to recover their loss with this project. But once I started to introduce this project to the Korean local leaders and investors, more and more people asked me to play role as a Korean representative. So That's why I started to introduce this project to the Korean market with my full scale for the last 3 or 4 months. So I have known Mr. Blockchain Kojo through his YouTube channels since 3 years ago. So a few weeks ago, all of a sudden, I thought I needed to introduce JBank project to some of the global leaders whom I have known for the last few years. So Mr. Blockchain Kozo is one of the leaders I tried to uh, uh, contact uh, contact to introduce this project. Uh, Fortunately, he showed his deep interest in this project, and within a short time, he has studied all the material which I sent to him, and I think he made a positive decision starting this project for you, for his global leaders located in many different countries. That's why he suggested me to have this kind of a Zoom meeting before we have a Zoom meeting inviting the JBank people early next week. So it's my great honor to introduce myself and the history why I started this project, why I am here to introduce this project to you. So I think Mr. Blockchain Kojo has a lot of knowledge and experience to find a good project for you. So if you have any questions or any ideas to uh, proceed this project, this JBank project as your additional or new blockchain business, we can share that kind of ideas, or you can ask me whatever you have in mind. So once again, thanks a lot for giving me this kind of opportunity to introduce JBank to your to you here today.
Thank you so much, Mr. Charles Yun. And I know how excited you were when you told me about this, concerning the fact that you've been in this space for a few years, but have only been a part of two companies in the last 10 years inside of this crypto passive income space. And when I realized that this is something that you have taken so seriously, I realized that I needed to take a deep dive, being in this industry. Many of us, we are tired of losing money. We are tired of companies promising things that they cannot do. Some projects come in with great promise, and then they never really stand the test of time because they do not have the right structures, the right support systems, the right people behind it that have the expertise. They don't have the liquidity. They don't have the capital to push these projects to the moon. Folks, this is not the case, right? We're going to look at a very, very brief video that came from Token 2049. Here you can see on the right is actually the current CEO of Ju.com, and JBank is a part of Ju.com. You get to understand why this is very, very important right here as we get started. This exchange has done billions of dollars in trading volume. In fact, if we go online today, and we should go check, which we will do, it's probably done over 1 to 2 billion in trading volume. They've been around since 2013. At one point, they had more volume per day than Binance Crypto Exchange. 50 million users worldwide are using the centralized exchange. They launched their blockchain, juchain, just last year around February, April. And Labs is their launch pad that has helped launch JBank Pro. What is JBank Pro, folks? We'll get to talk about it. That is the smart contract built on the juchain that has us excited that we are able to find ourselves earning 25x in tokens within 1 year. And folks, they have their own bank and pay service. I know right now in crypto, when you hear crypto card, crypto pay, it's not really a big deal, right? But the thing is, a lot of companies, a lot of projects only have a card. They are not an actual bank. Folks, this project today will be giving you a card that is a bank card attached to a bank you can log in online and do banking transactions with. I was mind blown when I saw this. So, folks, let's hear something briefly from the CEO of Jew.com, who's also in charge of this decentralized blockchain and the decentralized protocol that we'll be looking at briefly.
Well, this is really our rhythm. That is, we designing the simple 3 steps for our users to feel it is seamless, and they almost cannot feel that in any step of the way they have to stop and pause and figuring out or leave us. So Ju.com began in 2013 as JuCoin, and last year we were still JuCoin. Is a regional exchange. And the scale of today tells us a different story. We have 50 million users worldwide. We presence in more than 100 countries. And we have $5 billion in daily trading volume, and our token moving from 10 cents now to above $7.5. We are no longer only a venue that we trade assets. We are an ecosystem. And you can see our juchain really providing the infrastructure. And also we have ex-brokers connecting real-world assets. And our Ju Card and Ju Pay, they are taking and linking finance to our daily use. And Ju Lab is our investing lab in the future. And at the heart of our daily utility here, I would like to highlight is the Ju Pay, which is our world first payment system that truly breaks the geography. With JuPay, payments are no longer defined by borders. For example, a trader in Dubai, they can remit to family in Singapore. And with fiat and crypto flow seamlessly in one channel. And JuCard extends this experience to everyday spending. Doesn't matter from your coffee shop or to global travel or user, you just can swap and scan with low fees, enjoying the same simplicity whether they are at home or abroad. For daily use, JuPay covers everything: scan to pay and our QR payments and red packets, peer-to-peer transfers, and it bridges the Web 2, Web 3 in real life and giving users one wallet that works everywhere. So this is really the first time finance and lifestyle they converge into a single and borderless experience.
Folks, as you heard, this is the first time what finance and lifestyle has come into one simple borderless platform. So let's go ahead and now get into this opportunity. What we're going to do is we're first going to take a quick look at the exchange just so you guys can see the company behind the opportunity we're going to be dealing with today. So, if you just go online and you type Jew.com, folks, you would be presented with this exchange. They have created a very seamless, simple exchange. Definitely get with the person that invited you to this call. They will have a link for the exchange as well as a link for JBank Pro. And we'll talk about JBank in the next second, okay? So this is the exchange, folks. As you can see today alone, oh my God, they've done $15 billion in trading volume, folks. $15 billion in trading volume today alone, right? So this is a huge crypto exchange, and their goal, as you heard from the CEO, they used to be called JuCoin. They needed to scale up. They had new investments come in, new partners come in. They transformed the entire exchange to be Jew.com, and now their entire focus is to onboard people globally, especially in North America, South America, the Caribbean, Africa, because these are the markets that they are not in. They are mainly based within East Asia, South Asia, and mainland Asia, as well as some parts of Europe they are starting to break into, but in a very small way. So, folks, you are here. You'll be one of the first people to basically share with your community this very, very useful exchange as well as this staking protocol that we're going to look at. So, folks, this staking protocol is based on the model of Olympus DAO. How many here have heard of Olympus DAO? You can put a 2 in the chat if you have, right? How many of us here have heard of Olympus DAO? Or even example, Origin LGNS, right? These are staking protocols that have existed. Olympus DAO has existed for the last 6, 7 years. Their token is the token, right? And is still profitable today. Maybe not as much as in the beginning, but folks did not lose their capital to a platform disappearing in 6 years. This exact model has been recreated, but in a much more sustainable way, in a much more efficient way by a crypto exchange that has a team that has an experience from 2013. They've been around, they've seen every bull run and um and bear market cycle, and they have come to create this opportunity. In fact, when they created it, it was only about 1,800 wallets within the first week. And today, since the end of November to the 8th of March, they have over 100,000 wallets already. That's telling you that this thing is growing and people are loving it. That is the reason why there is mass adoption. We're going to look at two tokens today that we are going to be using. The Ju token is the token for the blockchain, the gas fee. They have their own blockchain, as you already know. Ju.com, right, has their own exchange and blockchain, has their own decentralized wallet, their own payment systems, their own card as well. So this is what makes this opportunity very, very exciting, folks. This is what makes this opportunity very, very exciting. Okay, let me go ahead and share this opportunity. I was trying to see how I can let the um how I can get the screen to go full screen, folks. This is something that I'm not um the the best at, right? Okay. Yes, okay, perfect. Okay, so JBank, folks, as we can see, JBank is a project that is in partnership with Ju.com, the exchange. Their blockchain launch mainnet 1st of May called Juchain, the exchange over 12 years in the industry. This JBank Pro project launched 20th of November. We are so early. I believe only 3 months, right? And we saw the video featured in Token 2049. In fact, they were a platinum sponsor of this event. Folks, you can Google how much it cost to be a platinum sponsor. This is a very liquid company, okay? Very, very liquid company. They have a very good selling point in the industry, right? They are very strong in what they do. You can read more about them on CoinMarketCap as well. Now, this is what stood out to me. This ecosystem has reserves to back their token, to back their ecosystem to ensure nothing they create fails. They have currently over $500 million in assets in reserve. Okay. So that's very, very important to know. There's many users once again of their blockchain, so this is not something where no one is using it and we are coming in to use it for the first time. No, this is not the case, right? They have their own wallet as well, so when you go to your Apple Store, your Play Store, and you type in Jude.com, you will be downloading an all-in-one app which has access to the exchange, the Web3 wallet, and their payment protocol as well, all in one app. Okay. So what is JBank? As we already heard, right? They are taking the Olympus DAO model. They have redefined it. They had made it more viable, more sustainable, right? And all of this is running on their token called Jup, right? The JUP token, which you can buy on the exchange as well, right? Give me 1 second, which you can buy on the exchange. The Jupe token will also show you how to use your decentralized exchange to bridge your assets from Ethereum or Binance and convert it into this token, the Jupe token, right? This is what we are staking, and we are earning passive rewards on a daily basis, folks, on a daily basis, right? So many of you that already know the Olympus DAO model, if you don't, I'm going to explain how this basically works, right? So JBank is a protocol that is focused on liquidity, and what we do is that we provide liquidity to this ecosystem, and in turn, we are earning rewards in a system that is auto compounding. What do we mean by that? You do not have to come and compound your tokens, right? A lot of times, we've been in projects as a community, and many people ask me, Kojo, how is this automatic compound? Do we have to manually come in, withdraw our assets just to compound? Folks, here, you don't have to do any of that, right? You have the potential to earn anywhere from 0.1% to 0.3% compounded every 8 hours via smart contract, right? So depending on how you come in, and we'll look at the different tiers, you could be earning 30% in your first month. Within your first 3 months, you would have doubled your crypto. In your next 6 months, you would have made a 4x. And by the time the year would have ended, because of this compounding effect, you would have achieved up to 2,500% in tokens, not in price, but in tokens. So, for example, if you had 110 tokens, right, within the space of a year, you'd have 25 times those tokens. So, those 110 tokens would now be, right, 2,750 tokens. Now, if the price of the token is $10 a token, then you multiply it by the number of coins that you have. Even if the price drops, you still multiply that price and you will be in massive profit because you have accumulated a lot of tokens. And that is where the principle of asset accumulation will always beat price appreciation. Okay. It's a very simple process. Once you have the crypto in your wallet, right, you can use MetaMask, Token Pocket, right, any decentralized wallet, or you can use your own wallet, right, which is also a decentralized wallet and makes things much more easy or seamless, if I should say, right? And then you go ahead and then you will stake your jupe. The minimum to stake currently is 5 jupe, which is currently somewhere around 45 to $48 worth in that token. Okay. Now there are three ways to come in, folks. We have the 365 days, 180 days, and what we call flexible no lock, right? Because many a times, we've been in this space for a while. A lot of people are still having that PTSD moment. I can assure you this is not the case here, but even if you still feel that way, you have the choice to say, you know what? I don't want my tokens locked in any contract. I want it in a flexible manner where if I come in tomorrow and I say, look, I want to liquidate everything that I have and take it out the smart contract, there is no one to stop you. You go ahead and you do that, okay? Now, at that point, you will earn 0.1% compounded every 8 hours, averaging somewhere around 0.3% a day, about 9.4% a month through auto compounding. Within your first 6 months, you would have earned over 71%. So this is still great. And within your first year, you would have earned about 200%. So that means that if you put, for example, $1,000 in a no lock contract, by the end of the year, you would have $3,000 worth of tokens. That is if the price stayed the same. What if the price doubled? Then you would have 6,000 worth of tokens. What if the price did a 10x? Then you would have 30,000 worth of tokens where you never locked your contract, right? So this is a very viable method for people who want that option, right? Now, for those of you who are willing to go through a certain lock period, you say, hey, I've built trust already. I have a game plan, 180 days, and I want to be able to pull out my capital to ensure that I do not have any risks locking it in the system, folks. You have that option, 180 days, 0.2% compounded every 8 hours automatically, leading you to about 0.6% within your first day. Within your first month, you'll be looking at almost 20% in profit. So this is very, very viable within our community. We see many projects under 20% nowadays. So to have something paying about 20% in tokens per month, that's huge. within your first 6 months, you would have already earned about 200%. So with your $1,000 would be now $3,000 worth of tokens in your first 6 months. That is huge, right? And by the end of the year, you have a 791 percent, which you can call about an 800% or 8x. So the same $1,000 would be worth about $8,000 in tokens within your first year. That is, if the price of the coin never changes. But you folks, you're already seeing that this ecosystem is growing. So I believe price appreciation will be a good factor that we'll be able to benefit from. But even without that happening, folks, you are still walking away in massive profits, right? First, I want to let you guys understand that everything we do in crypto has a risk. Right. As much as this project is exciting, just understand I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing here is considered financial advice. I'm only giving you the details that JBank has put out there. This is a smart contract. So everything works to the T. This is not a company dishing out returns every day when they feel like it and deciding to pause the withdrawals and change the system on us. No, this is embedded in the contract, the code renounced and has been put on the blockchain, your own chain. So there's going to be no outside influence from other chains trying to manipulate the system. So that is what I like about this very strong ecosystem. Now, if you decide to go ahead and do what I did, right? I decided to go straight and go for 365 days, right? If you decide to go ahead and do that, you'll be in a very, very interesting position, right? Where you would earn 0.3% per every 8 hours. That would lead you to have about 0.9% a day. Folks, that is literally 1% a day, right? Within your first month, you would have achieved 30.94%. Folks, this is massive. This is what many of us are looking in this space for, a project that can give us at least 30% a month. But here is the secret, folks. This is being compounded automatically. So this is not just your 300% a year opportunity. No, no, no. This is going to create a 400% within your first 6 months. In fact, in 3 months, you've already doubled your tokens, right? So within your first 6 months, due to compounding, you would now have 400% already. Your $1,000 would be $4,000 in tokens if the price stays the same, right? Now, within your first year, based on this system, folks, we are early. What this system works on what we call auto rebasing system. So the APY can adjust with time, but the fact that we are the ones coming in so early, we will get to benefit from this 2,500% growth in tokens. Okay. So within your first year, that's same $1,000 that you put in and put in that 365-day stake would result in about $25,000 worth of tokens with the price staying the same, folks. Huge, huge, huge system. Now, this is operating on that Malaysia, Singapore time zone. So though you would see a timer in your back office every day that's telling you when the next rebase will happen, when the next compounding will happen. And this is what keeps us excited. Now we're going to look at how the withdrawals work. Now, a lot of us are looking for a system that has sustainability. We've seen so many crypto projects come throughout the day, right? They start off great, they have great systems. In fact, they might have great people behind it, but because they didn't work out the right tokenomics, you see a token go very, very high within the first 3, 4 months of the project. And next thing you know, all it does is begins to go down and down and down. And yes, even you can be in a system like this where you can get so many tokens every day. But what if the price just keeps going down, right? So they have made a very important mechanism a part of this ecosystem. Personally, myself, I first looked at it and I felt the same way any person would feel like, right? Why wait for 20 days to receive my withdrawal? But then I understood the mechanism. I said, wait, this is genius. This is why the token would not dump, quote unquote, right? This is why people would find confidence in the system. When you show this to big, high level investors, they're looking for sustainability. And the minute they see these kind of mechanisms, because most serial entrepreneurs and investors are not looking to just cash cow and grab every day. They have a system. They have a plan to create wealth in 6 months, in 12 months, in 24 months. And so they will be comfortable with a system like this. Now, how this works is, let's say you earn $100, right? And you want to withdraw your $100. First thing, when you click withdraw, there will be a 25% burn, right? A 25% burn if you want the instant 20-day release. So that $100 or $100 would now be $75, right? After they burn the 25%. Now that $75 that's left for you to claim would be divided into 20 days, folks. It would be divided into 20 days, and every day they would release the token to you. So at that point, guess what? The token could be going up every day as well, and you're getting more than what you were expecting because it's being released throughout that 20 days. So if you're even withdrawing every day, every withdrawal will go through a 20-day release. So you can withdraw Monday, and the Monday withdrawal will take 20 days. You can withdraw on Tuesday. That Tuesday withdrawal will also take 20 days. And every day you would find out you're getting bits and bits of that withdrawal. Now, for those of you that say, hey, I don't want to lose 25%, and I'm not, in a rush to get my withdrawal, but I do want to know that it's going to come to me, you have the 180-day option. So the same way, if you have $100 to withdraw, right here, there will be no burn. You will lose not a single token, right, in burning. But that same $100 worth of tokens will be divided into 180 pieces, right, or 180 days, and it will be released to you drop after drop after drop after drop till the 180 days where you've got the whole $100, right? So this is another option for people who want to withdraw. So, members can have a strategy where they withdraw maybe monthly, weekly, or even daily, just because they are going to be able to choose which system of release that they want. Now, the fees that is charged, here's what happens. 50% is burned and 50% is allocated back to the ecosystem to ensure the sustainability of this token and this staking protocol. So I'm very, very excited about that. Here you can see in this example, right? You put in $10,000 in this example, you earn 30% your first month. That's $3,000 worth of tokens. Now, let's just say you now want to withdraw all that at the end of the month, right? What's going to happen is if you do the 20-day release, you're going to have a 25% burn fee. So you'd have $2,250 worth of tokens to receive, and they divide that in 20 pieces. You get $112 a day every day for the next 20 days, and you would have collected all your tokens. Very, very sustainable system, folks. I like it. I hope you guys do as well. So why should you join JBank, right? There are many staking protocols out there. Some of them are also following the Olympus DAO model. In fact, even Olympus DAO would be envious of this project. Why? Because number one, this is backed by a trusted global centralized exchange that has been around since 2013. In fact, the current CEO was a former high-level management executive in Louis Vuitton in Asia globally, who came and took the position as CEO of this exchange. So they understand marketing, they understand customer attraction, and with a system and technology that's been around since 2013, they have the right team to lead this project to the moon, right? Now, number two, you are able to earn from staking with automatic compounding. So gone are the days where you have to manually come in, and some people don't like to come in every day and do an activity. Folks, you can just let it sit and forget it, and it will work on its own. And you just come in whenever you feel comfortable to collect your profits. Okay. Now, the next thing is the fact that this token, the Juke token, is not just an ordinary token without utility. This is not one of those ROI tokens and nobody else is buying it, no one is using it, and so it's not gonna last, folks. This is their token for their decentralized banking protocol called JBank, as well as their payment ecosystem. So we can use Jupe for future payments, right, within the JPay ecosystem, which is huge, right? A big utility for this token that we are earning, right? So that's a long-term strategy to create wealth. Now, number four, this is low entry. Gone are the days where you minimum is 500 and minimum is $100 or $200. Folks, if you can afford as little as less than $50, you can get started. Five Jupe is around 45 to $50 today's price. The price varies every time. So just know that, it could be 40, 45, or $50. But folks, it moves currently within this range and you can grow in the ranks. In fact, you can, perform and enjoy this ecosystem even though you started with as little as $50. So that's why I'm excited and I hope you're excited too. Now, I want to jump into the next slide, which is the compensation plan, right? So we've looked at the passive side, how you can earn passively in this ecosystem, folks. So if you're here and you got excited about that, I want you to get excited about the compensation plan as well. Okay, perfect. So here we have the community expansion compensation plan, as you can see, okay? Now, folks, we are able to earn from our directs. Wow. Think about it. We are able to earn from our directs 10% on your level one profit that comes in every single day. Now, that is massive, okay? That is massive, and I'm very excited for this. So if you have people in your direct level earning $100, right? Let's say a day, you're getting $10 every day, and this is also being compounded for you, right? You also receive unit level profit sharing, right? So based on your rank, you're able to earn unlimited levels. Folks, you heard me right. Unlimited levels in this opportunity. Not 10 levels, not 20 levels, unlimited levels. Okay. Now, number three, when you also have the same rank, for example, you have conflicting ranks. Maybe let's say you're rank one and you have someone else that is also rank one, right? Or you're rank two, you have someone else that is rank two. You would be able to earn 10% of what that rank member is earning as well. Okay. Then also when there is new group staking, when people within your organization stake tokens every day, all that new staking that is going to go on, you will also receive 10% from that as well. Give me one second. Okay, so this is very, very interesting, right? Everyone wins basically from this type of compensation plan system, right? So here we go. Let's break it down. With the commissions, folks, you can once again you can start with as little as 5 jupe. You can enjoy unlimited commission depth under a single line structure. We'll look at some of the ways that you can build this in our next call, folks. We have a whole entire system built out so that everyone can duplicate inside of this ecosystem, right? Active income cap is at 4x of staking amount. So technically, let's put it this way. Let's say you have 1 jupe in staking, you can earn commissions up to 4 jupe. Once you do that, you have to reinvest some of those profits to give you another 4x limit. So every time you're earning, just know that there's a 4x cap, and then you have to put some more back inside the system. And this works all in all for all of us because number one, we support the ecosystem by adding more liquidity. Number two, commissions will be paid a lot more because people are reinvesting. So everyone wins. Your volume naturally will grow. Just imagine already your volume will grow from the automatic compounding in your team. If you had just one member who put in $1,000 by the end of the year, you could have easily $25,000 in volume. Now imagine you have 100 members, right? You would probably have millions, millions and millions in volume with just a few number of people who are staking as well. So this is a huge thing. So this 4x limit actually helps all of us and gives us more commissions and also helps the ecosystem and also allows members to not miss out on having more capital, right? Sometimes we join projects, as affiliate marketers, we are putting all the hard work to build a community and we never really build our crypto portfolio. And then we look back and we say, oh, we sold everything and this coin is doing so well, we have nothing left. Folks, that's not the case. You are building your own portfolio by participating in this ecosystem, right? Commissions are paid out every 8 hours. So, folks, it's not, you don't have to wait for 24 hours. In 8 hours, if you earn, you can withdraw. You can withdraw every 8 hours because your commissions are coming out every 8 hours, right? You can use and build one single team, meaning that if you are here and maybe you're not somebody who really shares opportunities, you just want to be passive, but maybe you have just one friend that you share with that might go out there and share with other people, you can still qualify up to 4 ranks just off one direct referral, right? This is huge. We don't see this in the space, right? You got to have 5, you got to have 10 directs and this and that. But just with one direct, you can hit the 4th rank inside of this ecosystem, okay? So real quick, we're going to look at the commission salary from the ranks, right? So this is how it works. The first rank is called the V1. Okay, V1. Now here we all get 10% from our directs, our level 1, so that stays the same throughout. Now your total team staking in order to qualify for V1 is just $2,000 worth of tokens. That's it. If you can have a team or you create another wallet, right? Because this is decentralized under yourself, and you put 2,000 worth of tokens, 200 jupe, folks, right there, you're a V1, right? So you would also earn 10% from the entire total stakes profit share. So if let's, for example, this is earning, let's just say 0.9% a day, right? So 0.9%, that would be $18 a day. You would get 10% of this $18, and it's also being compounded for you as well. Huge, huge, right? The next rank is V2, right? And you can have just one downline. The requirement is just one direct. You can have as many directs as you choose, but with just one direct, you can be a V1. V2, right? This is where you have $10,000 worth of team total staked, right? Huge, right? This is not something that people cannot do. I believe this is very duplicatable. So we're going to see a lot of members in our team hit ranks and really, get that community appreciation as well as that monetary appreciation that comes from sharing. Here you have 20% profit share, right? So how this works is if there is no V1 in that structure, you will earn 20% of the profits from that 10,000. So in this case, the 10,000 is earning 0.9%, right? Let's just say it means that on a daily basis, remember there's compounding, so it's not going to be $90 every day. This volume will be growing every day. The profits will be growing every day. But just give an example for day one. If they earn $90 that day one, you will get 20% of that $90, right? If there's no V1 in the structure. But if there's a V1 in that line, you would get the difference of 20 minus 10 from that line, which is going to be 10% of the $90 earned daily. Okay. So that's cool. V3, right? When your team has $20,000 in staking, at that point, you are now at 30%. You still get 10% on all your direct earnings. So imagine if all this volume is on your directs, you get 10%, and then you get the other 30% on the ROI. Huge, huge, folks, right? Once again, if there's no V2 in between or V1 in between, then you get the whole 30%. So let's say you have 2 legs where you have a V2 and a V1, but then you have 3 other legs with no ranks and just investors. You will get 30% of every dollar they earn, right? But then if someone is a V2, it will be 30 minus 20. If someone is a V1 from their leg, it will be 30 minus 10 of the daily profits that you earn. Very, very profitable system. If you can see already, then you know. V4 is when you have 60,000 in team volume. That's around 6,000 jupe, give or take, right? depending on the price, right? 60,000 in volume, and still, once again, just one direct is all you need to qualify. You are now at a 40%. Now, I missed something. Starting from V3, right? You get an extra bonus, okay? Anytime someone joins the ecosystem or restakes, right? New group sales. Every time you earn new group sales, because some folks might not have people joining their team, but the compounded will make their 20,000 they started with end up being 60,000 with no new members coming in. Folks, this is the part that you have to understand. This is not you have to get all the volume every time. No, you can probably, maybe you and your team are a small group and all you did was put in 20,000, in actual deposits. But guess what? Without any member coming in again, you would easily get to 60,000 because of the compounding. You would get to 100,000 because of the compounding. In fact, we know that by the end of the year, it would be 25x. So 20,000 times 25x, right, would be 500,000 in volume. With no one else joining this platform in your community, you can hit within 1 year $500,000 in volume when you only put in 20,000, right? But they want to provide an incentive for new members to keep coming in your team. So once you keep, you keep adding new members in your team, every new group sales that is put into the long-term staking, I believe the 180 days and 365 days, you get rewarded an extra 5% on the volume of that new group sales. That is a big incentive, right? Now, V4, you earn that 40% profit share, right? And at the same time, if there's new group sales coming in, they give you an extra 6% on the daily ROI. Folks, this is a huge money-making machine here if you're beginning to run these numbers up. This is why I've been super excited trying to get the people that I know that I talk to on a daily basis. You guys are some of the folks that I really, really admire and look up to in this space. Some of you, you already know, we have conversations in and out. We've known each other for years. And this is why I had to tell you guys first, right? Because we are going to bring in the masses, but it's good to bring in the people you care about first. So do the same, duplicate, make sure you invite the people that you know to the next call, which we'll have tomorrow, right? Because this is really a big money-making machine, right? Here we have V5. Now, V5 is where you have 100,000 in volume. Now, with V5, you need two legs, okay? You need at least two legs. One leg needs to be V4, and the other needs to be V3. Okay, so once you have achieved that, you can become a V5 as long as you also have $100,000 worth of volume. Now you have a 50% profit share. So on your V4 leg, you would get 50 minus 40 on what they earn every day, 10%. On your V3 leg, you get 50 minus 30. So you get 20% on the daily profits being produced on that leg. Now your new sales that comes in, you get an extra 7% in the profits from all those new sales coming in, right? So that's huge. That's huge. Now, V6, this is where you have 200,000 in volume. Once again, these are all very doable numbers, folks. So it's not going to be too far for us to hit these ranks. You need one V5 leg, right? Or and then you need at least one V4 leg. Okay, so once again, two legs basically required to max this comp plan, right? So we'll show you guys how we are building so you can also incorporate this system so we can all win. Here you had a 60% profit share. So once again, from that V5 leg, you will only get 10%, 50 minus 60 minus 50. From the V4 leg, you will get 60 minus 40, 20%. But if you have other directs, all those legs are going to pay you the full 60% if there's no rank on those legs. So once you hit the ranks, you can probably go wide, right? Because that's where you create wealth. Okay. Now, at that point, you would also now be entitled to an 8% profit share on new group sales coming in. That's huge. This is an incentive to keep growing your team, right? This is an incentive to keep growing your team. V7, at this point in V7, you have $600,000 worth of volume. You are now at a 70% profit share. You need to have one V6 leg and one V5 leg in order to qualify. You're at 8.5% extra, okay? V8, as you can see, 1 million, right? You need one leg at V7, one leg at V6, and you can see the profit share as well here, 80% on the total staking profits. Once again, if someone is a V7, you only earn the difference. Someone is a V6, you earn the difference. If there's no other ranks on the other legs, you get the whole thing or whatever the difference is, and you get that extra 9% on new stakes. V9, you have 2 million in volume. 2 million in volume, right? So this is very, very interesting. I believe many of us will hit that rank of V9. Why? In fact, if someone can put in the chat, why will we hit the rank of V9 in this opportunity, right? Maybe somebody could put it in the chat for me. Why do you think we might all, or we could all easily hit the rank of V9 and have 2 million in volume, right? Somebody could put the answer in the chat. Many of you guys know me. I'm very keen on giving bonuses when people put answers in the chat. So hey, let's see. Let's see who's gonna get that first. Somebody put an answer there. Um, S. I only saw S. I don't know what S means. But why do you think we would all easily hit that rank of V9, even if we didn't bring 2 million in sales? Why would we get to 2 million in sales? Right? Somebody could put that answer in the chat. Going once, going twice. What are we looking at? Okay. Because of the compounding factor. Okay, folks. Because of the compounding factor. Did somebody get it? Oh, Master Scott, you know what? I'll give that to you. Okay, so I'll hit you up after this, and then you can testify in the group the bonus that you receive for this answer. Okay, folks, because of compounding, it would be very possible for all of us to hit this 2 million in volume. Okay, once again, the structure has to be right. One V8 and one V7 leg, and you had 90% profit share. Once again, if someone is at a rank, you get the difference. But if you have investors on other legs wide, you get 90% of what they earn. So imagine, you built your team, you're at V9, and a friend of yours says, hey, I have 100,000 I'm looking to earn, and you put them on a leg wide where they have no rank, they're just passive, and they earn maybe $1,000 a day. You get 90%, $900 a day just from that one leg that is passive and unranked. Huge momentum, right? Huge incentive, folks, for us to build the structure very fast and then decide to go wide as well, okay? So here, at V10, you need 4 million in sales. You now are at 100% check match. Can you imagine that? You hit 4 million in sales, your momentum is growing, people hit you up, they want to join, you decide to go wide, now, whatever they earn, you get 100% check match. That's crazy. In fact, that is crazy good. Okay, let me put it that way. Crazy good, right? And then you also get 10% on news volume coming in. Now, the final rank, they call that a V10 plus, right? Where you have 10 million in staked assets. Now, here you need to have two V10s direct to you. So two different V10s, okay? So once you have those two V10s, now you are at 120%. Can you imagine? Now you have legs that are wide and they produce $100 a day. You get $120 a day, right? This is a big incentive to build your team, folks. I hope you're excited. I'm excited too, okay? So this is just an example of how this would work, right? So just giving you, in fact, let me use the let me use this scenario, right? So this is you. You have one team, we call it A team. You have another team called the B team. Right now, the A team stakes 10,000, right? And earns 3,000 a month. Because if they are direct to you, you will get 10% of this 3,000 every month. Right now, if B team staked 50,000 and made 15,000 a month, you will get 10% too, 1,500 of this profit every month. Now, here's the other thing. If you are a V1 or a V2 or a V3, what happens? You get an extra 10% of all of the profit that is coming from the two legs, A and B. Huge, folks, right? This is how we are going to make millions in this space with a trusted system built on the blockchain, right? Let me call it trustless system built on the blockchain, backed by a trustworthy exchange, centralized exchange that's existed for the last 12 years. Right. So the uni level profit, right? We already went through that. So I think we don't have to go through that again. I covered that in that scenario. So this is an example to show you the uni level profit, right? So as a V6, right, in this example, your team earns the on this side, they get 30%, right, on the 100,000 in volume, right? You have a V5 here, a V3 here, and a V5 here, right? So we already went through that. I explained it, right? When they all earn the profit, in this example, V5, you get the difference, right? So at a V6, V6 is at 60%, but the V5 is at 50%. So you only get 10% of what they make on this leg. Now this is a V3 leg, right? If they're earning 6,000 a month, right, you get the profit share of 30% of that 6,000 a month. And on the V5 over here, you would also get 10% of their 30,000. So depending on how you look at it, you can easily be making tens of thousands a month at a V6. In fact, I would like Mr. Yoon to come in at the end to give you just an example of what some of the people that got started somewhere in December, what they are already doing today. Today, in just 3 months, folks, there's people earning tens and tens of thousands already per month, per week in this opportunity. This is our chance to do the same because no one within the North America region, South America region, Caribbean region, or African continent have heard about this opportunity from what I have seen. I've been online, I've looked, I've asked a lot of people, very top premier leaders in the space with wealth, vast teams and years of experience. And they asked me, what is this? Right? So that's very, very good for our community. Okay. Let me go ahead and okay, yeah. So this is just our projected incomes, folks, right? Once again, nothing here is guaranteed. It requires some work because these are the rank estimations, right? So, if you sit back and just, let the sunshine shine every day, it might not be this case for you. But if you do share and put in the work, folks, as a V1, you can earn anywhere from $300 to $500 a month, right? As a V2, you can earn anywhere from $500 to $2,000 a month. As a V3, you can earn as much as $5,000 a month. Now remember, a V3 is only, right, 20,000 in volume. Can you imagine that? Only 20,000 in volume. If you find yourself earning these kind of numbers, where was that slide? What did I do? Okay. Right, earning these kind of numbers, that's exciting, right? Almost 2,000 a month, right? As a V3, you can earn as much as 5,000, even more. Because remember, if you have legs outside of the structure, you get the full percentage on what they earn. Okay, so that's really why this is not fixed. It could be way more than what's being put out here in the projection. Okay, V4, you can earn as much as $8,000 a month. V5, you can earn as much as 10 to 25,000 a month. So I believe many of us are looking to get to that V5, right? Because I mean, who wouldn't want to earn $20,000 plus every month? That's over $200,000 a year, right? That's a blue collar plus a white collar job combined together all in one. Right, V6, you could be earning easily $30 to $60,000 a month, right? Almost $1 million a year as a V6. Once again, remember the compounding factor is one of the reasons why we are winning. Then when price appreciation comes in, folks, what would happen then? All of this could escalate even higher, right? But we're not going to count price appreciation. We're just going to talk about token accumulation and the commissions we earn from our team. Okay. V7, you can earn as much as $80,000 a month. V8, you can earn as much as $100,000 a month. V9, you could be looking as much as 200 plus $1,000 a month. And V10, as much as $500,000 per month, okay? And then the V10 Plus, you know, I don't think they have a V10 Plus yet, but I'll let Mr. Yoon let us know. But folks, 2 million a month sounds amazing, right? That sounds amazing. But all of this is going to be achievable because you're dealing with a trustless protocol that cannot be deleted or shut down because some owner says you've made money and I need to make the rest of the money. This is built on the blockchain, number one. Number two, the credibility of Jew.com is not something where they are looking to mess up their brand by creating a system that shuts down or rug pulls or any of those kind of things. They've been around since 2013. They didn't have to do this, but they needed to because they want members like you and I from across the world who are using other exchanges to have a reason to be in their ecosystem. And that is the reason today. Okay. Now, with your commissions, when you withdraw, how does that work? Okay. Now, because leaders are putting in a lot of the work, there is a different release system for commissions. It's not 20 days, right? It's not 180 days. It's only 7 days. So, folks, I would urge you to definitely at least share so that you can be getting the withdrawals from the commissions faster in 7 days while you wait also for your profits from your staking for 20 days. Okay. So here, if you initiate a fast withdrawal, for example, you made $100 today, right? And we'll go and use this example over here, right? So for example, you earned, let's say you earned from your team 10,000 jupe, right? Which is going to be like $100,000, right? And you did a 7 day release, they'll burn 25%. So now you only have 7,500 jupe. Now, this 7,500 jupe will be divided into 7 pieces, right? Or 7 days, 7 pieces. And you get 1 piece a day till the 7 days is up. You would have received all 7 pieces, right? So same thing, $100, $1,000, whatever you withdraw, it will go through the 7 day process if that's what you want. But if you don't want to burn any tokens, you say, you know what, I don't want to give a dollar back. I want the whole thing. Guess what? You can wait for 60 days, right? So you withdraw $1,000, for example, it will be divided into 60 pieces, and you get 1 piece of it every day till the 60 days is up. Okay. Now, understand when you exchange USDT to Jupe, there is no fee to swap. Everything can be done on the JBank platform. We'll show you real quick. You don't have to go to 10, 20 different websites just to be a part of this system. Everything is done on this one protocol called JBank, okay? You can swap USDT to Jupe, but when you swap Jupe to USDT, folks, understand there's a 5% fee. 3.5% goes back to the ecosystem for development. 1.5% goes to partners or in team for profit sharing. So they have a lot of mechanisms to keep this thing very sustainable. Folks, I just want to say thank you for being a part of this call. This is our first call, but not our last. So I'll urge you, now that you have seen this project, now that you've heard the message, you've seen how profitable it is, you've seen how safe this ecosystem has been built, you've seen the team behind it. This is your opportunity to go out there and share to the masses. We'll have another call. In fact, starting from Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we have 3 calls back to back with the CMO, Chief Marketing Officer, who has been selected from the exchange to manage this JBank protocol, is going to be joining our team, folks, our team on a call. And we want to thank Mr. Charles Yoon for this opportunity. He was the one that made sure he put the good word out there and said, look, these guys are the real deal. They're eager and they're in the market that this exchange is trying to get into. So they have no choice but to come and assist our community. Okay. So I just want to say thank you all. Let me go ahead and stop the sharing and then I can switch between screens so I can show you guys. Let's see. How do you do this? Okay. Right. So this is how the staking protocol looks like, jbank.pro, but please do not go to this link. Get the link, the referral link from the person that invited you. Once you are on there, this is what you're going to see. Let me start sharing my screen again. I just noticed I stopped sharing, right? This is how the interface looks like when you get on there, okay? Right? And once you are here, you can see on the menu side, you connect your wallet, right? And then once you have the tokens, in case you didn't have the tokens, folks, maybe you don't have the Ju.com exchange to be able to buy the token, but you have your USDT and your tokens on the BNB chain or the Ethereum chain, no problem. You would just come to Bridge where you'd be able to bridge your assets from either Ethereum or BNB into this chain. It takes like 2 minutes, folks. Let probably even less than that, right? You can bridge either BNB or USDT or any of these tokens onto your chain. Once you have it here, you would then go to swap, okay? And you would just swap the USDT, right? So just make sure it's USDT. That's the one that they let you to switch. So you can swap your USDT to Jupe, okay? And once you have the Jupe, you can start staking. But you are all going to need JU token, the blockchain's token, JU token for gas fee. What we're going to do is that at the moment, we're going to allocate the JU token. I'm going to send some to all the leaders on this call so you guys can just give your team even just $2 or $1 of the gas fee token can last for weeks, if not a month, right? Because the fees here are so cheap, folks, so cheap, right? Pennies, pennies, pennies on the dollar. So that's exciting, right? Guess what? You once you're ready to start staking, you will click staking, where you would then go ahead and either select 365 days, 180 days, or flexible based on your own risk appetite. You'd go in there, you would stake your jupe. Minimum is 5 jupe, which is about $50 or less, and you can stake, right? Every day you'd see your staking contract at the bottom here, and you can go ahead and claim your profits on a daily basis. Okay. There are some days where they might even do airdrops and just give us free tokens. Okay. So just look forward to that as well. Okay. Now, folks, at this point, if you wanted to withdraw your commissions, you come to commission, right? Connect wallet and you'll be able to get your commissions as well. You want to get your link to invite, you'll be able to do that as well. You want the card, right? You want the JBank card, you'll be able to get the J. This is a platinum business Visa card, okay? Now, folks, if you guys don't know what this JAT Bank is, you can look them up. JAT Bank Malaysia, okay? This is a credible financial institution. This is a credible financial institution launched since 2021. They have served as a fintech investment bank. This is a massive, credible bank that has partnered, okay, that has partnered with Jupe, JBank to give this card. So this is not a crypto prepaid card. This is an actual bank card backed by an actual investment bank. This is what we are getting for being in this project, okay? So I just want you guys to be very, very excited, right? And I thank you all for being here. I don't know how long we've been here, but you guys made it through, so I appreciate it. We'll have the recording available for everyone. At this point, I'm going to stop the sharing and then stop the recording.